core, it'll be good to keep you straight and keep you going for longer. Your arms adjust very quickly. Within 2 or 3 weeks, I think you start to build strength.
Today we delve into the world of fine jewelry. My guest is Dimitar Tzvetkov from Dimis Designs, a master jeweler whose precision and artistry turn raw materials into wearable art. But behind the craftsmanship is incredible physical discipline, hours at the bench, sustained focus, and fine motor control that demand as much from the body as they do from the mind. Dimitar, welcome to the show. Let's start with your story. How did you find your way into the world of jewelry making?
Thank you, Mark. I was fortunate enough that my father was a goldsmith. So even from very young age, even I wasn't using the tools, I was exposed to that atmosphere. With visiting him at the workshop, he was working in quite a big government sort of jewelers. So there's quite a lot of people. It was always very exciting to go and visit him. And he also had a lot of tools around at home that he would use on off occasions. So I was exposed to that. And then later I did my whole apprenticeship with him. And that was...
Oh, with the dad.
Very, very,
Wow.
eye-opening.
So it's like a generation passing down.
Yes, you would find that's quite common in this sort of trade, because it's when I was first started, it was very secretive in a way. Not many people wanted to share skills or how they did things, what they charged, and it was quite secretive. Well, now it's a lot more open thanks to a lot of social media groups and awareness. And younger, but back then it wasn't. So
how long have you been doing like this? What's a typical day look like for you?
So I've been a typical day now. I'm at a stage where I work only for myself. So I work with a few other shops, but I'm very selective and we have a good relationship going with them. So my typical day would be a lot of stone setting, so diamond setting.
That's putting the rock on the ring.
Yes, so the ring would come to me almost finished with just little holes, or sometimes not even holes, and then I put the holes in and then the diamonds to secure them in place.
Wow.
So it's sort of the finishing stage of the product. But as well as that, for some of my clients, I would design from scratch, which I do a lot now on CAD, computer assisted drawing. And from then I will get that casting back and finish it off, assemble it. Sometimes it's in different parts. I'll put it together and then again put the stones in and then finish it off completely. So
that's like
I do from start to finish.
So you need to know the computer side of things, design,
yes,
and also the craftsmanship part.
Yes. You gotta be always learning.
Wow.
So, as well as I've always been attracted to sort of the ancient side of it, or the old crafts. I also done some leather work. I've kept bees. So I'm really passionate about that old way of doing things, but in this day and age, you also need to keep up with the modern technology and how it can make it easier for you. And
that sounds so artistic. Leather work as well. Yes. So is there much similarity between the jewelry side and the leatherwork side? The art side is, it's all art, I guess. But in terms of the technical side, would you say someone who's a good jeweler will be good with the leather side as well? Yes,
I think it comes down to being able to commit yourself and practice and practice and practice to perfect something. It's high motor skill, sort of craft, both of them. But
that requires a lot of focus.
I think even more jewelry, because there's so much more broad
Yes. And
Whereas,
how long have you been doing this? How long ago did you learn from your father
Yes, since
until now?
when I was quite young, I used to muck around with him, or he would give me some little projects that we were all my brothers also attempted and we completed. And so without counting that, it's probably around 32 years since I've started the proper
been raised
full-time
jeweler way.
And to tell you the truth, I think after your apprenticeship, which is normally 4 years, you probably need another 10 years to really become a master of the craft, because till then you're sort of just copying, or
the basic skills.
Someone that is a bit more mature, older than you would show you how to do their way of doing things, and then you either pick it up or find your own way. Or so when you start finding your own way, I think that's when you sort of mastered the craft, because you sort of say, I want to try this a little bit different. I think I'll get a better result, or you'll be quicker at least.
And now you focus on the stone setting side. Yes. For our listeners, like stone setting, like most of us will think you just put a rock on the ring, right?
Yes.
So what's involved in that?
So that is need to be quite precise, because usually, especially with designs there now, that there's not a lot of metal to. People like to see more of the stone rather than gold around the stone. So that has to be kept to quite a minimum to get that full effect of the stone. But yet it has to be secure. So it has to look minimum, but it has to be strong and sturdy too.
So a lot of the skills in making sure the stone doesn't...
That's the worst case scenario.
At the same time,
as well as sometimes even it's just a little bit off too, a little bit skewered or crooked, it can throw off the whole ring. So it's quite precise, and that's why we use microscopes now too, because it's a lot easier for smaller diamonds. Usually you're talking about a millimeter or even under is the smaller ones there.
To hold that in place. And is there a standardized technique that most jewelers do for settings, or do you have a special way or unique Dimis way of doing
a bit of both?
Settings?
Yes, a bit of both. You see from pictures or from other videos how people do stuff. Because I first started just making jewelry, I didn't set the stones in the beginning, so I sort of moved into that field later on, because it was hard to find the good craftsmen that can do it, and so you need an understanding of both. But getting back to the point, it was when you first start to attempt a certain style, you sort of try to copy what you've seen, and then
so there's a lot of different styles out there, different designs,
slightly different, maybe
just the setting. That's amazing.
For people that will know straight away, but I guess for the normal consumer, they are sort of at the mercy of what they get in the way.
Unless the claw, like just claws the rock in place.
That's my other passion, trying to educate people on
what will be
what to look for.
Different types. So there's the claw way. Like I can't imagine how different these can get.
Yeah, there's claws, there's little beads that hold it, there's like a all around metal, just hammer set, so it's all level.
What's it called?
Hammer or a gypsy set, yes. So that's where it's all metal around and just the hole in the stone in there. But none of those are particularly new, except maybe some of the micro setting, they call it now, where there's very, very little metal, just enough to hold the little stones, and it looks much, much better. When you look at a piece of jewelry, you only see stones, and you need to take a second look to see how it's held.
Amazing. Those ones will look amazing.
You're looking for, yes.
Is there a special Dimis way of doing that? Like a special one that not only you do, and that other people don't do? Is this too much to share? Is this a secret thing?
No, it's not a secret, but I do have some ideas that I've never seen before. Always try to push the...
And what would that look like?
It's hard to describe unless you see a picture, but
Is it still claws or is it like a mixture?
it's a mixture, like a hybrid, I guess, of
Wow.
ways. I don't. So I'm not a big fan of really round claws, for example. I would always do different shapes, and that's quite difficult. The round shape is an easy one to achieve, whereas any other shape is a lot more work involved and creativity. So.
Wow, that looks like there's so much to just the stone setting side of things, isn't there?
Yeah, and it's a very visual thing, so it's really hard to explain.
Yeah. So jewelry making, it seems to me like it looks delicate on the outside with all the creativity and things in it, but it's actually very physical, right?
Yes.
Because one of those settings will take a few hours to do, right? Sometimes days.
That's right.
Am I correct?
That's right,
Yeah.
yes.
So can you tell me what parts of your job do you feel really test out your body?
Yes, stone setting is definitely one of those, because you'd be sitting at the same spot. Everything will be a hand as you're working. Say if you have 150 little stones to put in a single ring, you really need to take a break. And when you try to rush and get things done, and you forget that 2 hours are gone past and you are still in the same position using the same muscles.
Wow, that's a real test of patience.
Yes. The thing is with jewelry, you can get lost in it in a way. When you're creating and you get into the flow state, it's a good place to be, but that's when I set an alarm to just get me out.
But what's the average time? What's the average time that you would spend on, like, say, typical settings job? So this is just setting the rock. This is not, even designing the whole thing. Just setting the rock. How long is the average time doing that?
Average engagement ring would probably around 6 hours, I would say.
6 hours.
Yes.
So that's one rock.
And some take twice as long as that, because
is that around?
No, not one rock. No, there'll be a few 20 to 30. So on the shoulders and the center stone, for example.
Wow, 6 hours. And I'm guessing the position you'll be sitting at your bench, one position. So this is not like moving around, polishing and doing different things.
No, that's right. Stone setting, it's one station in similar position. I tend to have 2 seats, so I'll have a saddle seat as well as a normal sort of back seat, and I do sometimes work standing up as well, so just to give me that break. But I've never, that's a new thing, like I didn't do that since the beginning, which is a bit unfortunate.
And for people who are just getting into jewelry, say there's people who just want to get into jewelry, which part of their body will need to be strong to be able to do a job like this?
Yes.
Like physically, which part is most tested?
It would be the core, because
I'm so surprised. I thought it would be
you probably know better
shoulder, the neck.
No, because
imagine the core.
Your shoulders and hands would strengthen as you progress into it. Yes, in the beginning you'll feel it.
Yeah, but the sitting, right?
Yeah, then I think to have a strong core, you'll be good to keep you straight and keep you going for longer. Your arms adjust very quickly. Within 2 or 3 weeks, I think you start to build strength in the fingers, in your wrists, and that's enough. And a lot of the stone setting doesn't require super strength. It's more the bending and the shaping the metals that requires the strength.
Yeah, that's it makes so much sense. Like people without inadequate core strength, which see in physio, is that typically they can't sit for long periods.
Yes.
And if they do have to sit for long periods, they start to develop problems like aches and pains. And is that common in jewelry making? Or do you actually get aches and pains, say the shoulder, lower back will be a big one? Are those the typical areas that people get pain?
Yes, definitely. I get lower to mid back stiffness.
Fatigue.
Yes, fatigue. And used to get shoulder as well, the back of the shoulder, and every now and then, yes.
You've been doing it for so long, so can you share with us like what kind of, how have you been managing these symptoms to last this long?
Yes. Well, it's only been the last 10 to 15 years that you become aware of the importance of it when you're sort of young and you think you're bulletproof. You think you're bulletproof. But I wish I knew I was. So that definitely would be my advice to the young jewelers, to take enough rest. Stretch out. I tend to, like I said, switch seats. I have 2 different seats that I've tried, and they work. Not a single fix, but as a combination, it works quite well. And also, I tend to set up my workstations far away. I don't like to just reach for something and never having to get up. A lot of jewelers tend to do that, whether it's because they're limited in space or they like to have everything at hand. But I did design the workshop that I can get up and walk to the next thing and then come back. So naturally spread things out.
Yes. And you find that sort of manages it quite well, eh?
Yes.
Do you do anything outside of jewelry making for to maintain the physical side of things?
Yes. Well, yes, I should do more, but I do.
Always do more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially from your physios, all the good exercises they tell you, they're great, but you really need to be disciplined. I wish I could do more of those. But eventually I hope to get there. So yeah, physically preparation is great. In the morning, I would do the cross trainer, or I would lift dumbbells if I can't make time to go to the gym, or because sometimes just leaving the house is a hustle and coming back in. So definitely do that at least 5 to 6 times a week, the morning routine exercise.
And that takes away the tension, allows you to have more energy.
It keeps you stronger in your whole body rather than just certain places that you keep using while working. That's what I found it really helpful.
A lot of professions we find in physio is that they do things that are just the basics, like you lifting weights. Who would think that lifting weights and jewelry making is related, right?
That's right, yeah.
But Master Jeweler, you actually do that as your daily routine, and you found that's the most effective. So back to the basics.
Yes,
that's what we
exactly. Even just push-ups and sit-ups. I do
for the core.
Burpees are great.
Yeah.
And they're quite quick to achieve and get you going.
Yes.
Very quickly.
Yeah. So it's nothing fancy, isn't it?
But
the core, a bit for the core strength, and there's just that flexibility component.
Yes, and you don't need super heavy workouts. I think it's more like a marathon, because you want to keep in good shape for a long time.
Yes.
To be able to work at your prime.
Yeah. I found that so interesting. So for commoners like us, will feel like you probably do like hand strengthening, like hand exercises, finger stretches for your jewelry making, or maybe a warm up of that to get going. But then it is those overall body type things, dumbbells. You're doing just full arm, pec, back, and burpees, push-ups, sit-ups. Those are all very generalized type exercises. That's so amazing. Now, with your jewelry making, you don't just do the stone setting, of course, you do all the other stuff as well. Out of everything, what would you say is the most taxing on the body? What is the
apart from the stone setting?
Or just the whole thing in jewelry making world, what would you say is the most physical side, or an aspect of it that's the most physical?
That requires brute strength.
Or when do you feel pain? When did you feel the most pain? What's the most painful aspect of jewelry making?
I find it hard to just point one thing, but if we go back to designing, I think if you over design something, I think that's when you run into problems. So you need to be clear about your steps and estimate how long it will take, I think, as well, because it's great to in your head everything's easy and quick, but once you start doing it, if you're spending twice as long as what it should, I think that's when you become more tired and fatigued.
So lack of planning. So it's really the amount of time, amount of time that you spend jewelry making rather than a particular movement.
Exactly, yes. And more like when you're into something and you didn't plan it out well, so you really want to get it finished, and the time just flies past, you know?
Yeah.
Before you know it, it's 6 o'clock, and then
Yes.
you get frustrated, and you just think I should be really wrapping this up, and then you tense up more, and you want to get it done towards the end, and so it's that simple. And
it's really a test of endurance, almost.
Exactly. Yes, that's what I've found. Yes.
Yeah. Wow. So there's that physical side of things, or the endurance side of things that will make you start to feel things, or when you're rushing, right? So do you find that this physical stress on the body actually affects the quality of the work you do, or even the creativity side of things? Is that related to that?
Definitely creativity. I think creativity comes when you're definitely calm and relax, or even just walking in the park, totally away from it. But
have you ever worked through a piece of jewelry, and then halfway through you suddenly get an idea, and then you change direction of your jewelry?
Yes, all the time. All the time. That's why it's good to start on a few things if you have the time to create a few versions of it, and then leave some at certain stages to sort of go in a different path.
But so you do some other jewelry, then you come back to it.
Yeah, back to sometimes rushing through. Yeah, to an extent that sometimes also necessary too, because I find sometimes as a jeweler or an artist, you sort of going too slow in a way. So sometimes rushing and being in that flow state, it actually lifts your level up. It makes you better, I believe. So is that as long as you don't make a big mistake, so you have to restart.
So you talk about an intentional rush.
Yeah, like saying, look, I really got to finish this up, because my father is also, he was one of the most talented jewelers I know, very, very artistic, but there was so many jobs he started and just never finished because he didn't have that deadline, or that no one was pushing him, and then he was so creative he would rather just start on something else, and then till he sort of got sick of that, and then start on something else. So you do need to have that deadline, I think, and to have that will to finish. And sometimes pushing yourself, of course, is good, but to be prepared, I think.
Do you feel like it's like your creativity side of things are going faster than the physical side? That's why this happens. You know, ideas just keep coming. And then your hand is trying to catch up. So you just have to put it down somewhere first. Is that how that works?
Yes, in your head or in your mind, it's always much quicker than doing it in real.
Especially during making.
Yes. So it's with more experience, I think that's used to make that a lot more at younger stage when you thought, I'm going to create this beautiful thing and it's going to have this, and it's way complicated. And then once you start making it, you hit that roadblock or that wall, and then you sort of go, and you lose the passion for it as well. So you need even more strength to finish off, or just redesign, back to the drawing board.
Yeah, I can guess, like, if you don't finish something, then kind of the reward is not there because there's no finishing product.
Exactly, yes.
And over time, that can be demotivating in a way.
Yeah, the most satisfying thing is the finished product, and giving it to the customer then is ecstatic. So to get to that stage, you got to keep pushing.
So throughout your journey, they're talking about back to the strain on the body, but I find that it's so interesting with jewelry making. Have you ever had an injury that actually stopped you from doing jewelry in these many years that you've been working?
No,
has it been pretty good so far?
Yes, not like a major injury, but definitely when you've put in a few long weeks or long days, adding up to a week, like it's a lot harder to get going. So you just don't want to get back on the chair and work. You know that you need a little bit more push, and that's because you've either had too much work to get through in too little time. So your body's just telling you, this is probably the limit. I don't want to do anymore.
Yeah.
And that becomes hard. Then the next few days till you sort of can relax again and get back onto your rhythm. I think you got to keep with the rhythm.
I think that also proves that your management has been working, like, your daily exercises.
Exactly, yes.
Kept you going.
Yeah, I've been good so far, but it wasn't always so disciplined.
Have you had peers or colleagues that actually injured themselves? Is that common in the jury?
Yes, definitely. You hear of old jewelers that just can't work anymore because of lower back issues.
Lower back, that will be the number one injury, lower back. It's too much sitting.
It's definitely the back, yes.
Through. Yep.
And they good jewelers that they just can't do it anymore. They have to tell someone else how to do it.
I would have guessed it's the wrist or the hand or fingers.
No, I think it's
actually
it's the nerves in the pinched nerve or something
constantly
like that.
With the spine under pressure. Yeah. I never thought about that aspect. As a master jeweler, Dimitar, what's your setup like? Do you work at a bench? You mentioned you stand as well when you're working.
Yes.
Yeah. What's the standard setup look like?
Standard setup is just a normal desk with drawers on each side for all your tools.
And that's like a jeweler's workstation.
Yeah, you buy that from a jewelry suppliers. It's very standard height, and just a normal office chair can fit under it. And
do you modify it to make it more suitable for you?
I've actually always built my own. I don't.
What's the setup like? Can you tell me some of the setup changes that you've made and why you have made
yes. In general, my work benches, we call them benches or stations, are a little bit higher. I like it to be a bit higher so I can keep a straighter back. And the other thing is I have not just one workstation that you could cram everything onto. I've divided that into 2 or 3 different places where I actually need to move from one to the other to do the work. So I get more moving around the workshop rather than just sitting
in
are
the desks one high, one lower, or are they the same?
Yes,
size?
Now I have, for my stone setting, my desk is adjustable, so I can stand up and work, and I can also sit down, work, and I have a saddle seat, which is
a saddle chair as well.
Yeah.
And you find that's helping a lot. Hey?
Yeah, with your back definitely to strengthen it, but you do need both. Actually, a physio told me that.
Yeah, you're very similar to like reception or admin workstations, like stand-up desks. The ones that is adjustable are really the way to go these days. What we see in physio is that it's not really for jobs that require sustained positions. Movement
is the key.
So I'm guessing in your job as well is that you have to be in one position for long periods. So the same principle will apply. So that's great setup you've got there with
100%. Yes.
And setting up the desk higher. That's what we always tell our patients. This is too low. Everything's looking down. Computer is a typical thing that people work with. For jewelry, very similar type things. They're looking down the whole time. Just having that station set at a higher height is so common. Like 99% of the people that I tell this to, because their desks are too low.
Yeah, I couldn't work at a low desk too long anymore. So I definitely vouch for that.
Yes, especially these days, people work with computers. They start to use laptops because it's portable. Laptops are a lot smaller, so they're always everything's a lot lower. And the desks are really designed for desktops. And most desks.
That's right. With adjustable screen heights.
Yes. So that's really cool. And saddle chair, when did you make that shift? Did you use a conventional chair previously or stool, like what we see on TV with jewelers?
You see that? Yes.
That's what I'm guessing. They sit on wooden stools.
Oh, okay. Back in the old days,
Yeah. Did you have this progression with your seating as well?
Yes. Yeah, I first started with just normal office chairs, but eventually you went for the more expensive one where you could adjust
because you feel that
more
difference.
Things. Yes, and they're worth every single dollar.
Yeah.
You
What
pay for
difference
it.
did you feel when you changed over to the saddle chair from an office chair?
Just a lot less stiffness in your lower back and the
Yeah.
tension in your mid back
Yes.
as well.
Mid-back,
That all
lower
comes from
back,
the
yeah.
seating
Yes.
of the, and so then the saddle chair, of course, through another jeweler, I think it was a video or something, and I thought I'd really got to try that out. So
Yes.
I got one, and in the beginning, like I said, I was just switched it from one to the other, and it didn't feel that much effective, or that I could still feel tension because of the slightly different spot, but it
Yes.
still
It
builds
hasn't
up.
started working yet.
Yes, so a physio actually told me, one of your employees, that it is better to just change from one to the other rather than spend the whole
Yes.
day on the one. So that's what I've been doing now.
Then you get that movement component again.
Yeah, that's very smart.
Yeah. So saddle chair is the chair that you it's like a horse's saddle. You actually have your legs on the two sides
Yes.
of the chair instead of in front. And what that does
Yes.
is that it allows your back to straighten up because your legs are not in front of you anymore. It's onto the side, so that allows the spine to move forwards. And forward means straighter, and the curvature of the spine is
Yes.
more restored. And a lot of professions start to use saddle chairs. The biggest one is the dentists. They sit there all the time in that dental chair, working with
Imagine,
small areas. That's actually very similar to jewelry making.
Yes, I
Yeah.
think, and
Almost
in
the same
my
thing.
imagination, I think they're always off to slightly crooked, isn't it? They can't
that's
sort
even
of.
worse. Yes.
They need to stretch out over something.
Yeah,
which
it's always
is worse.
one-sided, and
They
they
can't-
can't switch actually
No.
as well, because all the equipment for dentistry equipment will be all
Oh,
on the
yeah,
one
left
side.
or right,
It's
yeah.
actually that the whole table is designed for right-handed or left-handed, and you can't switch in between. So that's a problem with dentists. But the
No.
chair is saddle chair works so well for them.
Okay.
Yeah, because they use the foot pedals and all that stuff.
I
as
found
well.
like what you said is spot on. When I sit on a saddle chair, it feels like I'm 2 or 3 inches taller. So I need to adjust my table a little bit
Yes.
taller to be able to work at the
Everything
same
gets
position.
taller.
Yeah, and that's just through the way you position your legs.
Yeah.
It's so amazing.
Yeah. The interesting thing about saddle chairs is that you do have foot pedals as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just guessing because I've seen your setup. But what's the foot pedals for jeweler?
One is for the micromotor, which is like a demo drill most people know of. It's just like a
Drill.
like a dentist drill, very similar to a
So
dentist drill.
similar.
Yes, and the other one I use a pneumatic engraver, which is like a
That's an air
very
pump.
small jackhammer in your hand,
yeah.
basically, like a
Yes.
little hammer.
Yeah.
So they both require pedals to be activated in. So, but I've actually, because I keep changing my seats, and that is exactly true. It's quite awkward to use pedals as they're designed to. So I've put my pedals at the bottom of the table and I push them with my knees
Oh, nice.
rather than with the foot. So,
Yep. And that will decrease the amount of hip bend. I was going to say that with the saddle chair. Saddle
Yeah.
chair actually works really well if your feet needs to go on pedals. If you actually have to do this kind of, like that ankle
Exactly.
movement and pushing down the floor, because that puts more pressure on the hip if you compare to someone who just sits there without pedals. So a
Yes.
saddle chair takes that pressure away from the hip because the legs go to the sides and allowing you to use pedals for longer. And you've actually gone that extra step using knees, and that is so genius because the whole leg is not flexed.
That's right.
After that, it takes the
Yeah.
pressure off the spine even
It's,
more.
it's fun. But the other thing is those drills that are not just on and off. The harder it's like an accelerator. So the harder you push, the faster it will
So you
spin.
really have to require the control.
Yeah, that you could get. If you don't get enough movement, you can definitely get stiffness.
Yes.
Doesn't matter what position you're on because you're regulating speed with.
Constantly having that control, and that comes back to core work. It's all tied in together. Hey, you need that strong core to produce the amount of fine control with your ankle, and at the same time that produces that stiffness into the hip.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So when will dentists start to use their knees for pedals? That will be the next thing, isn't it?
Or armpits.
Something to look into. That might be the new invention.
Yeah,
will
should
come
do
into the
that.
dentist world. Wow. Now, moving forward, we've talked about the actual setup. How about like if you set up everything right, in terms of the stuff that you do, the actual work, and what kind of either it's settings or whether it's design on the CAD,
Yes.
or the type of metal. I don't know whether that makes a difference. Like what kind
Yes.
of work actually puts extra stress on the
Tension.
body?
Yes, hand making certain rings, say for example a men's ring is much heavier than a lady's. So
I would never have guessed
yeah,
that.
yeah.
What?
Shaping that, you need a lot of more physical strength than something that is
Shaping, you
fine.
mean put it into a circle?
Yeah, into a circle,
shape.
for example, from the rod that you start off with or a plate.
What's the
bending
reason
it
for that?
around.
Is it because it's thicker,
Metal. It's
or-
still metal. It's
a female rings
soft
of
and-
metal as well, right?
Yes, but you're talking like different gauges, so different thicknesses.
Ah.
And anything above, say, 2 mil thick, you'll be a lot harder to bend.
Ah.
And some of those men rings up near the top, they're thick and wide as well. So
Yeah.
it takes a lot of effort to push those in.
Just to get
Like
an
we have
idea,
certain machines that help with that, or
helps you bend.
yes,
Yeah.
but you still need that strength. So apart from that, the jewelry is more about finesse rather than brute strength as well. So
But just get an idea of the strength that's required, say
Yeah.
between female and male rings. If you say double the thickness, does the strength require double or increase?
it's more
exponentially.
actually sometimes, yes. The tricky part is because it's not always the same all the way around. Say the top would have to be thicker because you're going to
Ah,
shape more or you
thought
do
about
yeah, and the base is just normal thickness. When you go to bend it into shape, you're going to get like a funny U shape because the thin
Yes,
ones will bend
yes.
very easy and
Yeah.
they'll kink.
the pressure goes
Where-
to
where
the
there's the-
least resistance.
Exactly, yeah. The thicker sort of parts would need a lot more working.
And how do you get it to the circle shape eventually?
Bending and
Oh.
hammering onto a mandrel, it's called, like a tapered stick, metal stick.
Wow, that sounds like a lot of hard work just to get it in shape, and that's before you do anything to it.
That's definitely the make or break
Ah,
because you need to have the thickness at the right points in the ring to depending on the design. So that again, back to design and planning is extremely important.
good. So you've talked about the strain on the lower back because of that prolonged sitting and endurance aspect. Lower back is the part that's constantly in that bent forwards position, and also that a lot of people, the good jewelers, they actually don't last because of too excessive strain on the lower back, and that points us back to the importance of having that core strength. And what kind of things do you do to maintain that core strength, and you can actually keep going over the next few years?
Yes.
Because you're not thinking of retirement yet, are you?
No, I want to keep doing for as long as I can. But,
Yeah.
So discipline in any exercise is great to keep the body strong because that's really your most important tool. If your body's not working well and functioning, you just can't. No other tools will help you
Yes.
do the job. And it's a shame, you see it with a lot of good older jewelers that never sort of had that education of how important it is to sit correctly, to take regular
Yes.
breaks, and then they've either had 1 or 2 operations on their back, but they still can't work more than an hour long anymore.
Yeah, once you have
A
the
day.
operation, it's so difficult to
Recovery.
heal.
I imagine.
Once it's cut, it's the best you can do is get to that 80% at best. Because when muscles are cut, it's cut. Like they don't regenerate. A lot of people think muscles do regenerate. They repair themselves in terms of scarring. Yeah, just like the skin. When you cut yourself, it's replaced by scar. But like once muscle cells die off, a bit like brain cells, you lose it forever. So you get the reduced number of muscle cells, and that's what you need to work with. So,
yeah, very interesting. Yeah. But that's definitely true. That when you cut yourself, the scar is always harder and bulkier than
and different.
Just
over
engineered, is it? Not to break again.
It actually is less resilient. Scar is less
it can
resilient.
actually break.
Yeah, because it's less elastic.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So less elastic means less strong in terms of holding tensile type strength.
Okay.
So what we see a lot in physio is that you work with less muscles. So after surgery, we do a lot of core work to compensate for that loss. So the existing muscle cells needs to work harder. So we train them to work harder so they can perhaps compensate for some of that loss. But you don't have the same number of cells. You can just imagine it is working. It is harder and it requires more effort for the same amount of output. Yeah. So core work will be the main thing to maintain. I would recommend everyone to actually focus on the core because it's just such a surprise. Core work for dualists. So for our listeners out there, core work will be the main part that you'll be working with, and the best thing will be to work on the core strength is not your sit-ups, normal sit-ups and perhaps pull-out. It is in that strength work. When we put strength work into our body, like say carry weights, dumbbells, that's actually the more effective way of core strengthening work. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that, but you do have to switch on your core when you carry heavy weights. So that's you see a lot of powerlifters, they put this belt onto their core to support the core. It's because it requires that amount to carry the heavy weights.
Okay.
Yeah, so
very interesting.
Yeah, so that will be not exactly the right way of working. That's only if you want to achieve that strength. Now we'll leave that for another topic for powerlifters. But in terms of strengthening up the core, you don't use the core, so you allow your muscles to do the work while you carry the heavy weight. Okay. So if you are thinking of working your core and you're working your abdominal muscles with sit-ups and all that, that's you might find better results by doing just the strength work and your stabilization work like planking. So those one will be the top choice from a physio point of view. So I find that really interesting.
Push-ups are good.
Push-ups it's great for arms. It's not really exactly a core work, but holding yourself in that semi-plank position.
Oh, is better than actually.
Yeah, that is a bit of that core work. Yeah, but most people, they stop because their arms get tired rather than their core gets tired. So,
the core is the unsung hero, right? Everyone wants big arms and big chest, but no one says, I'm going to build my core.
Yeah.
But that's holds everything together, right?
Yes.
From my understanding.
Yes, and fitters as in people who live for long periods, people who got that longevity to themselves, they don't look big.
No.
Really, but they just walk up and down stairs with up and down is a type of strength work, or they carry heavier type things to maintain their muscles.
Carry water.
And their core is phenomenal. These people. Yeah, it's balanced and it works great.
Okay. Yeah, Spartan training.
Yeah.
They carry stuff, right?
Yeah. So all these things will be the really highlights their core. So it's not the six-pack that people see in doing.
I've given up on
sit-ups. That's fake core, isn't it? It's just on the outside, not the inside. So for those listeners watching our YouTube channel, we can't have an episode about fine jewelry without actually looking at sparkling jewelry. So Dimitar, can I get you to show us
something to show?
What hours of work look like? And
this is the rewards from all the hard hours that you put in.
Wow.
Into something quite small but very effective and
I can see that.
Beautiful.
There are definitely very, very small diamonds on the ring, on the band, and then a rock at the top. So that's
Spinel.
spinel.
And diamonds, yes.
Wow, very sparkly.
Thank you. Thank you. That's what everyone wants to see in jewelry.
And you've got another one there.
Yes, this is another set with a center diamond. So actually, if you look closely at the top there, there's 3 pink diamonds, which are naturally pink, and
Wow, you
they're
can
worth
see
almost 10 times more than a white diamond.
pink diamonds worth 10 times more than white diamonds.
Yeah, roughly.
Wow.
That's good.
And this part turns as well.
Yes, that's one of my ideas, that trying to do something I've never seen before.
So this is the
and I-
secret, the Dimis
That's right,
secret.
it's the fidget ring. No, we haven't trademarked it,
really-
but
Those
it's
does look
for-
like it. Hey, look, all these little diamonds in here, and they look nice
Yeah.
and secure.
I think I said you should be able to see diamonds, not metal, when it's done like that, the micro setting really close to each other with
Yes.
very fine beads of metal holding it together. Because what tends to happen as you wear it, those little beads or claws get hit, and then they spread out even further over the stone, like a gentle beating.
So it becomes more secure.
Yes, but the point is you don't need a lot, because once it's secure, as you're
yes,
wearing
yes.
it, that metal would thin out but also creep over the stones.
Wow.
And eventually you'd have to redo, but usually not for 10, 20 years, depending
Yeah.
on how often and how active you are when you're wearing it.
It's absolutely beautiful. They are very beautiful. And
Thank you,
Very
thank you.
well, very unique in the design as well. So yeah, thank you for
That's
bringing
what
these
we're all
in
about.
to show us.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Yeah. So Dimitar, thank you so much for joining me. It's amazing to see how the same principles of physical discipline applied from elite sport to the fine art of jewelry making as well. Your attention to movement, posture, and recovery is what keeps your art alive, and it's such a great reminder for anyone using their hands and mind for precision work. So for listeners, if you want to see Dimitar's work, check out his socials in the show notes. And remember, mastery isn't about skill. It's about how well you take care of the body behind it. Thanks for tuning in to the DSP Podcast. Move well, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next one.